Hi everyone, thanks for visiting my channel and checking out my video. In this video I am doing a swipe. I start out with just a basic white that I keep pre-mixed. I'm covering up a canvas that was nice, but my son actually threw his jacket into when he came home from school. So he's about 6, and so, you know, it happens. But I'm just covering it up with white here. And at one point you saw me drop the marble out of my jar as I was trying to get a little more white out of there. I keep the marble in there to, you know, when I'm mixing the paint, it helps mix it together a little bit better. So I'm just making sure to get all my edges. And I do have this on 2 times the speed, so you don't have to watch, you know, as I sit here and try to make sure everything's covered. I don't usually talk in my videos, I usually just do music, but I decided to try a voiceover because I can't do it while I'm actually doing the painting because my house is just too loud. I've got a couple of kids and animals and things like that, so and I paint in an open area where all my kids are around, so there I'm just using a torch to get out all the air bubbles, and I slow the video down here so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm just giving the paint a quick stir because it was sitting for, I don't know, a good 30-45 minutes before I started messing with it. So this is kind of a light bubblegum sort of pinky coral color. And I do intentionally make these lines a little bit zigzagged just so that the color variation is a little bit more when I actually do the swipe. This is a burgundy color. I think it's called Berry Wine. It's by Floetrol. In fact, I think all the colors I'm using in this video are by Floetrol. Which I know you can get some of them at Walmart, especially metallics and the specialty ones. This is a very bright pink. But the primary colors, or like the non-specialty ones, you can certainly get at Hobby Lobby and I believe Joann's. I'm not sure about Michael's. I haven't seen them at Michael's, but I honestly haven't looked for them. So this is a purple, again by Floetrol. I really like the Floetrol paints. They're, you know, they're not super expensive, but they're a decent paint. And they come in a ton of colors and a ton of different, you know, specialty type of colors and finishes. This is a shiny, I think it was a coral rose or something like that. It's just a pink rose kind of color, but it is a metallic. So I'm using a sheet protector. This is the first time I'm using the sheet protectors. I have used, you know, the little mailer, like credit cards and things like that, where they're trying to get you to sign up for their credit cards. The little fake ones for quite a while. But in this one I decided, excuse me, I decided to try this, and obviously I didn't have the best luck with it. I just dropped it completely in the paint right there. But I still try to make it work through this video, so. And I just used a paper trimmer and cut it up into a few different sizes. I think I have a 5-inch, a 3-inch, and a 1-inch, and then I have a little scrap. This is the scrap that I ended up turning sideways to make it work. I just had a ton of trouble with this whole swipe. I think I was a little thrown because the video I did right before this didn't turn out to be one of my favorites. So obviously that one isn't gonna be seeing YouTube ever. And then I didn't get the piece of plastic wiped off all the way, so I ended up pulling some white through right there, which it doesn't look terrible, it just wasn't, you know, part of the plan. But I didn't get enough paper towel ready for this swipe, I guess. Or maybe it was just picking up more than I'm used to. I'm not really sure. So I switched to the, I believe this one's the 3-inch one, to give a little variation in the width of the swipe. And I did round the corners on these just so that it doesn't dig in, because I've had a lot of trouble with other, you know, squared corners digging in towards the canvas and just leaving the canvas bald in certain spots. I saw another artist do this, and it's proven to be really helpful. So you can see I really vary the way that the swipe ends and the length of the swipes. I'm just trying to make it a little more visually interesting here. Although I really wish I had done some different colors than just all these pinks and reds and purples. It ends up pretty, but, you know, it's still, hindsight, I wish I would have changed it up a bit. Just thrown one other color in there that might have given it a little bit more of a pop, I guess. I don't usually do too much that is so similar in tone, but I tried it with this one, and I don't hate it. I just, you know, wish I would have thrown some silver in there or something like that. Or maybe even some gray. That would have been nice, I think. So this is the 1-inch strip of that plastic. Still doing the same thing, just trying to lift it up a little before the end of the swipe to give it a little bit of difference towards the end. You know, give the swipe a little bit of a different shape. I try to make sure to get as much of the canvas actually swiped. So I even, you know, try to make sure that I give a little swipe on the edges. Of course, it's fairly difficult to do and to get it to swipe well. And so I just try to smear a little of the paint, really. Just so you know, this one, the paint is mixed with the pouring medium that I pretty much always use, which is 70% Elmer's glue wall, and actually it's more of a like 65 Elmer's glue wall and 35% water, which I keep mixed and on hand all the time. And so I put the paint in, I give a little bit, maybe like a teaspoon of Floetrol, and then I do the pouring medium to the consistency that I want. Sometimes I have to throw a little extra water in there, especially with the thickness of the full cart paints. It seems that that is one of the heavier paints that I have gotten out of, this squeeze type bottle. Um, Obviously, Liquitex and things like that are going to be heavier, but I have also gotten some in the tube that are supposed to be heavy body that aren't nearly as heavy body as the folk art, primary colors. The metallics are definitely thinner, but the regular colors, the regular, matte finish colors are pretty thick. Um, so that's what I use. I started doing that because I was getting a lot of cracking, and I just decided to try something different. I don't think I've had anything crack since I started doing that. So you might try it. I didn't want to spend the money on GAC 800. I know a lot of people use it, and I just didn't want to spend the money on that. So I tried this to see if it was a good option, and so far it has been. So you see, I'm sorry, my paint does have a couple of drops of silicone. Um, it's not the best silicone. I'm waiting for a shipment to come in the next couple of days with, a treadmill oil that I've seen so many people use. I did try to get the silicone just from Walmart, and it's it's in a dropper. It's 100% silicone, but it really kind of is a hit or miss. I'm not really sure why, I stir it very well to try, because I like more of the lacing type of cell pattern or whatever you want to call it. I don't like the traditional cells so much in most cases. I prefer to get some lacing, and I know that if I up the Floetrol, that'll definitely do it, and I could have done that here, I just didn't. It was kind of an afterthought to add the silicone, so I did add it, and you'll see it does kind of activate more when I hit it with the torch again in a few minutes, but the 100% silicone certainly doesn't work as well as I've seen, silicone oil or treadmill oil work for other people on YouTube. I don't even know what brand it is. It's in like I think it's got a yellow label on it. It was like $2 or $3 or something from Walmart in the home improvement section. So it was pretty inexpensive, and it was just to try it. But I won't buy it again, and I'll probably, as soon as I get the other stuff, I will probably just throw it into my hardware bucket, or my tool bucket, so, yeah, I mean, in most cases, I would think that this is where you would see a lot more lacing or cells or something, and I just didn't get it. And I tilt right here, but it really doesn't do a whole lot. I didn't put enough paint for this to move around too much, which I'm happy about because I generally like the pattern. I don't even know why I tilted this, honestly, but maybe just to, change the center point and give it a little more weight in the middle. I'm not real sure, but I hit it with the torch again, and there's still nothing. Like, it isn't reacting very much, so I was really hoping for a lot more lacing, but I didn't get it, but it still came out nice. Here's the dried, and I apologize if some of the movement here is a little shaky. The light's not the best in this area. It's been drying for 2 days, so it's mostly dry. And you'll see there's certain areas that I did touch up and change just a little bit. So here's one of the weird cells that I get with the silicone that I've been using. It's just really blotchy, and it's really inconsistent. There's a little bit more. So this is the dried finish. well, almost dry. And I do really like the way this came out. This will be one that will be for sale on my Etsy page in a couple of weeks once it's had enough time to dry completely and I've had a chance to clean it and seal it. And of course, you know, get the photographs and do all the editing and all that fun stuff. So, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my channel for other videos. They're only painting videos. So, if you have any questions, please, you know, leave me a comment. I'm happy to answer any questions or send me an email. Like and subscribe if you would. I would appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.